Hi, Capricorn. This is your January. I wanted to say July. So for you guys, there may be something for you to pay attention to all the way up in July, considering that's what was trying to come out of my mouth. But and that's the next eclipse season. And since we're going through one the beginning of the month, that may have something to do with the direction of where you'll be going come that eclipse season. You might be in a hiccup of adjusting between now and then. That actually makes sense. Anyway, okay, with that being said, this is for Capricorns, for all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I always say Venus if you're coming for astrology or for the tarot readings. Venus would speak to you about your sensitivities, whether it's positive or negative on the board for you at the moment. Not necessarily about love, but I am getting that this has to do a lot to do with your self-awareness at the time, and that's because you've got a lot of planets going on in Capricorn. Now, again, when I say Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, I want to make sure that I'm throwing out there, like if you're a Capricorn moon, then we're talking about your emotions, because that would be where your first house would be for Capricorn in your emotions. But if you're a rising Capricorn, we're looking at things from your appearance, from your view of life, plain and simple, from that self-awareness. And if you're an actual Capricorn, then we're talking about an overall situation more than any specific houses when we get into that astrology form. I am being given that either way, this does have to do with a level of your self-awareness, your appearance, your personality, your view of life, and how you communicate with yourself in truths about some of your subconscious truths within that awareness of that. Are you liberated? Do you feel liberated? Your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Are you aware in these energies right now? Because there are hidden parts of yourself that are coming forward. Like I said, whether this is on a platform of who you are because you are a Capricorn and this is coming in all directions, or just like in your emotional area because this is a moon Capricorn. It all depends on how we're viewing it for you. But this is going to be speaking to you of, is that self-awareness and that appearance, that personality actually dealing properly with the humanitarian interests within your life, as well as government situations in your life is what I'm getting. Some of this has to do with laws, rules, walls, boundaries. And are you putting in the proper responsibilities, or are your other partnerships putting in the proper responsibilities within what these relationships are? This has everything to do with communication. But they keep bringing me back to self-realization. Thank you, Spirit, for letting me know we were getting too close. I'm going to put this up. That'll work. Sorry, had an incense burning. But letting me know that this has to do with the proper communication within the relationships and your own appearance, your personality, your awareness within what's going on in them, as to if it's going to actually bring you towards your dreams, your ambitions. But this is definitely parts of your hidden self you're becoming more aware of. And then are you communicating to yourself as well as to others properly is what I'm getting. But they keep bringing me back to the humanitarian interests. So this has something to do with your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional career, your service to the world as well. Let's see. Seems like you two are coming forward. Before I even do it, the Hierophant is the very first thing out because I didn't even have a chance to shuffle it. Which is definitely, there's someone there helping lead you in the right direction, unless it is that you are the Hierophant here. But we'll see. I don't want to go there just yet, because I'm getting self-deception too. So it may be that you are the Hierophant, but you don't believe in it. You don't believe that you are. You may be more powerful or more knowledgeable in a situation than you realize. But you are getting the Tower. So it could be the exact opposite. Like I said, I was getting self-deception. Maybe thinking that you're more powerful, more on top of things, more intelligent, more knowledgeable, and then the Tower is coming with it. I'm not saying that you're not smart or that you're not intelligent, but you may be putting that idea ahead when there's something for you to learn, and you're missing the learning because you're trying to stay the Hierophant. That doesn't mean that you can't be it. It doesn't mean that you are not it, but it does mean that there's something here to learn. Because for some reason or another, it seems like you've been getting knocked off the block. One way or another, you've been getting knocked off the block, but that's because there's a rebuilding going on. This is just rebuilding that Hierophant energy in one form. And let's face it, Capricorns, you guys are known as the boss. So this is just saying we're rebuilding the boss. So in a form, that's a good thing. You may not like how it feels at the moment, but it is a good thing. It's just a rebuilding of the boss. Something's being changed, shifted, pulled apart. Humility maybe being shown in one form or another. Human pride, but this is all how you has something to do with how that Hierophant is being rebuilt. What is the first one out? This is outward expressions of internal progress. What was I just saying? This is sacred round. This is pulling all of oneself into balance. Okay, so basically that's exactly what I was saying, because this is the beginnings of the change. This is my sacred knowledge or sacred symbol deck, more or less. So this is basically saying exactly what I was saying. You're coming into a new balance, a new vision, a new sight. And I do want to say a new eyesight, because they're messing with my eyes. That's why it took me so long to read what that was saying, because all of a sudden, like, my eyes and everything went blurry. So this feels like you are coming into a question of yourself, but you've been sure of yourself. And maybe, you've been sure of yourself, but now you're starting to question it. Things are shifting, things are changing, but they're meant to. And it's not saying that you're being knocked off the block in any way, shape, or form. It's just saying you're being rebuilt, you're being made stronger. This is what when shamans start going through their learning, so to speak, or at least the way it happened for me, I always say, as I came into a stronger level of my spiritual lessons and stuff, and I was going through some of that work, it felt like I was being ripped apart and rebuilt. And this is part of what I'm speaking about for you. You're being remade. We call it, what do we call it? Like a dismemberment. Like ripped apart and then re-put back together, but no longer holding all the bad funk or the bad juju. So this is what I feel like this is about. Any of that bad juju, that lower vibrational juju, we're just getting rid of that shit, which is a good thing. It's just helping you to understand some of that subconscious hidden truths so that you can clear it out and then rise to the next level of your ascension, is basically what I'm getting. And that's a very positive thing. Just may not feel like it as you're undergoing it. May be very confusing, but it is definitely a positive thing for you. Let's see what's going on in the in up close and personal area. This is your friends, your family, your loved ones, relationships, whatever it is that Spirit wants to bring forward about it. First thing out is the Three of Pentacles. This is brand new building blocks within these relationships. So this is, processing them, building them, formulating them, pride in what it is that you are doing, taking pride in these relationships, and finding out if you have pride within these relationships so that you know if you have the right ones. This also has to do with, for some of you, this up close and personal is going to be the relationships that have to deal with those humanitarian interests, is what Spirit is saying. So, like I said, I don't usually do love readings. If love comes through, then we speak about love. But I typically give you what I'm being given. It's just love usually is not the top of the line for me. It usually isn't what comes out. Up close and personal relationships for Cap. Up close and personal relationships for Cap. Up close and personal relationships for Capricorn. I'm being told for some of you, this is where that government stuff is going to come in. Stop moving on me. And I'm not being given it as a positive or a negative, just government situations may be coming in. But, I mean, that's what I was being given from Spirit. You are getting, making progress, finding building blocks. You are getting, pride in what it is that you are doing within these relationships, or at least you're being shown where it's not so that you know how to create it. But you are also being given the 6 of Wands, which is the triumphant return. So this is definitely being rewarded, victorious within the relationships. And like I said, government was coming in. So for some of you, this could be victorious situations happening within government situations, sitting pretty. So this could be saying for some of you that government situation is, there's nothing to worry about. But this is definitely moving in a positive direction within these relationships. Up close and personal, no matter what it is that they are. Is there anything else going on here in up close and personal for Capricorn that you would like to clarify? Up close and personal for clarification. Up close and personal. And what I'm getting in this one is actually you may need to get reconnected, reacquainted in this energy at this time. You may need some quiet time with the situation or the person, the people, reconnected, re-nurturing the situation in order for it to actually get to this. So this is saying you may need to give a little extra touch of love to the situation, as well as the love to yourself. Reconnected to yourself, to your own spiritual success, your spiritual truth in these relationships. Reacquaint them with yourself and with the relationship in one form or another. This has to do, again, with that hidden self. Getting past some of your own self-deception is what I'm getting. Dancing through eternity is the next card. I've never had this card come out before. This is potential within the relationships. Let go and feel through the truths. So, I mean, like I said, this is a good thing for you going across the board. It's just telling you to be honest, to trust. To be honest and to trust within them and allow them to grow as they're meant to grow. So it feels like it's a very positive situation. I'm hearing transformation, transformational healing going on within up close and personal relationships. Now, what's going on in goals, dreams, ambitions, finances? Goals, dreams, ambitions, finances. Goals, dreams, ambitions, finances. Anything else from this deck? Goals, dreams, ambitions, finances. Like I said, right off the bat, they were saying this has to do with communication with yourself. That makes sense why I said that when I did. The very first thing out is reaping the rewards. This is reaping the rewards, completing and crossing from the past into the future. This is the Four of Wands. This is also satisfying high point. I mean, this is going over the bridge. Going over the bridge of what you did not believe in, what you thought that you could not achieve. But the problem is, you do still question if you can achieve it. So this is where this is the only thing that's keeping you from behind. Like I said, right off the beginning, this is the Hierophant and the Tower. This is rebuilding you into believing in yourself, to believing in your gifts, believing in your powers, believing in your truth, believing in the abundance of you. Because it's time to cross into a new path. Not a new path, but to go further along on your path. This is time to go deeper into your path. And this is about crossing the past into the future, going over that bridge, starting the new thing. But what you are getting is the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is taking the time for inner peace because you can't figure out what's going on. You're not quite at peace with it. You're still in confusion within the situation. But this is the Two of Wands as well. Hope, wonder, new beginnings, new desires. You are wanting it, but you question it. And as long as you want it, yet question it, not sure, and you doubt, you're not going to cross that bridge. And why I was saying what I was saying about it going right back to the Tower is because this is the High Priestess. This is time for you to step into that power of the High Priestess. Time for you to realize who and what it is that you carry within you and bring it to that point. I always say the Magician is technically considered to be the number 2 card and the High Priestess is technically the 3. But I still say the way I view it is the High Priestess is above the Magician. She's already learned. The Magician is an apprentice. It's learning how to do the magic. It's learning how to accomplish all of that. The Fool is the one that takes the chance, but still isn't quite on top or understand it. Is willing to take the chance. The Magician is the apprentice learning it. But the High Priestess, she's already won with it. This is asking you to get to being at one with yourself. This is also Isis. This is also Mother Mary. This is healing. This is the magic within, finding harmony and balance and wisdom within it. It is the magic of yourself and knowing it. Magic itself. And when you start believing in the magic itself, you return back to the Hierophant and the Tower falls away. I feel like it's a very good month for you. The only question is, do you believe in you? I love you guys. Bye.